Hello and welcome to The Adventures of the Golden Tooth.
Sorry, I'm doing something entirely unrelated based on something that was a throwaway comment 5 minutes ago. Having a great time.
Are you logging into Roll20 still?
I am now. I realised I still hadn't done that.
My name is John and I am joined by Sean,
Hello.
Shan,
Hello.
and Michael,
Nearly. I'm loading now.
who might actually get into Roll20 any minute now.
Who
There
knows?
he
You know,
is.
I don't like putting myself in a box.
Either that or he'll turn up like 3 minutes from the end.
One of the two. We aren't joined by Amy this week, unfortunately, because of essays and schoolwork, but our thoughts are with them.
Boo. Sorry. Supportive. Boo.
Boo the college work, not the Amy.
Yeah, why not?
I think, and therefore I am.
How long it works.
I think that I'll do again with you guys what I did at the weekend with Storm King's Thunder. Seeing as this is the first Golden Tooth of the year, we'll do a quick recap of everything.
Okie dokes.
Very
Several
brief.
years ago.
About a
The
year.
beginning there was light.
About a year ago, in terms of in-game time, a small group came together. Malzere, Malzere, Squeak, Barham, and Nephirin came together in a small town of Fandalen. They investigated a goblin attack and then went out to deal with some orcs that promptly murdered half the group. Upon returning to town and returning the rest of the Golden Tooth to life, the group was met by Calderax, a cleric of Kalemvor, and Fancy Chap.
And all round fancy chap.
Who proceeded to sleep through half of the women and most of the men of Fandalen.
Round fancy pants,
It's like the
windy
introduction to Battle Block Theatre. It's like, Hattie Hattington, say hi to Hattie.
All round fancy pants when he decides to wear them.
Yes.
Hey.
I think you'll find all my pants are very fancy.
When you decide to wear them.
Even when they're on the floor, they're very fancy.
The group went on several adventures around Fandalen, dealing with a number of brigands and kobolds and goblins, building up to finding the missing, long-lost dwarven human mine of the Wave Echo Caves, the lost mine of the Fandelver Pact. Upon successfully clearing it of the undead and other influences, the people of Fandalen were so grateful that they offered a part share in the mines, as well as assistance in rebuilding Cragmore Keep, which would become known as the Keep of the Golden Tooth.
Fine.
The group of adventurers went on several other adventures dealing with the people of Elventree and what was the other place name? Hillsfar? That's it.
Yeah.
A racially tense situation where humans, the human leadership of the town had banned all non-humans from living within the town.
It's the best thing I've created.
The Golden Tooth managed to depose and assassinate the leader of Hillsfar and have a new hopefully less racist leader installed, whereupon Barham and Squeak left the group to adventure, to house sit for cousin Theodas Laura Karen. Meanwhile, Neferin stuck around for a little while, met with Morks Chernadorn, Malzaray's brother, before she left to parts unknown, never to be seen again. Malzaray and Calderax were approached once more by Elventree to investigate mysterious goings-on in the Underdark, where they met with Pyrrhus Brim and Asimar Paladin, and How, a
Hi.
Genasi monk, and Ember, a fox who just kind of goes bork.
And is the best boy.
You investigated the Underdark, and through several misadventures with Malzaray not accepting the assistance of a mind flayer, and How holding the map upside down, and several of you being unable to divine your path through the Underdark. You spent about a month and a half in the Underdark, exploring the many twisting caves, and experiencing many interesting people that live in the darkest parts of the world, before you made it to Sizith Morcaine, rescued the drow leader of the town, and made it back to the surface, whereupon you started to make your way back to Elventree with the prisoner. You made it as far as Waterdeep, when Calderax and Malzaray had a deep and meaningful conversation about their present relationship.
Well, they started doing that.
During which time Malzaray leaked the information that his brother had made a deal with the Demogorgon, and possibly summoned the Demogorgon into Everlund, their childhood home, whereupon Calderax instantly needed to head out to rescue his parents and grandparents. Calderax, followed by the rest of the Golden Tooth, made swift ride to Everlund, whereupon they found a doppelganger situation where several members of the town council, including Calderax's family, had been replaced with evil doppelgangers. Rescuing Calderax's family and convincing his parents, at the very least, to leave Everlund, Calderax, Malzaray, Pyrrhus, and How started to head once more for home, whereupon Pyrrhus was visited by a dream from her patron, who explained the location of a long-lost magical weapon that she could find near the path home, and the group was taken by Warrington, the commander of the Spelljammer, to go on a Christmas crossover special event,
Taken against their will.
where Calderax and Malzaray revisited Xanthol's Keep, fought with a lot of bugbears and hobgoblins,
Including one hobgoblin that just would not fucking die!
and fought a mind flayer, descendant of Hume, who apparently took a great disliking to Malzaray for turning down Hume's tea, and blasted Malzaray's mind to nothingness. Calderax and Malzaray travelled to a healer who healed Malzaray's mind before they came back to the Spelljammer. Meanwhile, Pyrrhus and Hal went on another mission where they got lost in space through a conjunction of spell, plague, energy, mystical teleportation, magics, and the weird goings-on of the Orrery of the Wanderer. Hal and Pyrrhus found themselves stranded on Lycon, a planet in the Space Odysseus world, where they got lessons in what air is, the general chemical makeup of it from Helia, as well as a little trip in a spaceship that took them out of the atmosphere, much to the great distress of Hal.
Did not much care for that.
But they made their way back to the Spelljammer. There was a little bit of a fight. Hal...
A kerfuffle.
There's a bit of a kerfuffle. Hal met with some other monks. Pyrrhus and Caldrax met with some other healers. Malzere met with the sharp end of a sword and required the assistance of said healers.
Yep.
During the farewells at the end of the big crossover special event, Malzere and Caldrax briefly had an interaction with a Nisha Greycastle who claimed to be their daughter from the future. Pyrrhus was there.
Yeah, great.
And Hal gave out flower crowns to the assembled group of heroes. I feel slightly bad that we didn't do more with Pyrrhus, but there was a lot going on at the time.
Yeah.
Huh. It's interesting Photoshop there.
Thank you. I think it looks good.
I'm impressed.
I haven't been doing this since we mentioned your new job.
And so you were dropped by the Spelljammers. The last of the Spelljammers' magical wormhole energy returned you back to whence you had came. With no time having passed, you found yourselves once more several days' ride from Tribor.
Couldn't just dropped us at Tribor? What? A bit rude. Like...
Just as Warrington disappears back through the wormhole. Yes, fuck you!
Enjoy your ride!
Enjoy your horseback ride, peasants!
Flies away in his Jetson ship.
I mean, you've not seen what happened to Warrington at the end of the crossover,
I'm sure he's fine.
I have no idea. He's probably dead. So...
I mean, there's 6.5 hours of the last episode to go and watch if you wish to.
Yeah,
Right, guys, no more Saturday today. We're going to go watch 6.5 hours of something.
The Christmas crossover, by the way, was 28 hours of D&D.
Wow.
I'd just like to throw that out there as a
How
number.
many characters in total?
50.
Okay, so...
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Up yours, endgame.
So
ooh, look at us. We did a 3-hour film and put some Marvel characters in it. Ooh, whoopie do.
You guys ride for another couple of days, and eventually,
Warrington the entire way.
Could have just dropped us off home. Just dropped us off there, but no. Half the fun's in the travelling.
Is there anything the three of you would like to do specifically on the journey?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, you want that as well? Just pick flowers.
Okay.
I've just got an image of every time Hal realizes that he's in air, he just like stops and breathes it.
Yeah, I am very happy that I'm back here.
Malzere, for his part,
Very quiet.
is very quiet and
I'm enjoying it actually. It's quite refreshing.
and isn't saying a lot, which is out of character for them.
Are you?
I would
You
interact
okay?
with such a thing. However, the person of whom controls them isn't here. So,
I feel that this interaction will be coming soon. Watch this space for this interaction at another time.
insert interaction here.
Hey, Malzere, how are you doing? Oh, good. I'm glad that you are emotion.
How are you, Malzere? Insert dialogue. Oh, great.
Warning, dialogue not found.
I have feelings that are either positive or negative to this.
Exactly. Anyway.
Sure.
Onwards to glory! Unless anyone else has anything.
I feel like Pyrolis would be scribbling notes out of any new things that she'd learnt medical-wise to
Okay.
discuss with people. And probably would have doodled some stuff as well, just small sort of sketches to hold on to the memories of any equipment and things that she saw
I would assume that
while she was up there.
Riviera would have talked to you a little bit, and
While they were doing the medical stuff, she would have seen.
yeah, Riven
So.
would have also spoken about medical procedures that are new and interesting to you.
Yeah.
And you can probably also have sketches of... Actually, give me a... What is art?
I don't know.
Dex. No.
Give
It'll
me...
be. I'm not quite sure. It'll be charisma or dexterity, because obviously if you're drawing something, you're using your dainty fingers.
Yeah, give me
Maybe?
a dex check. You sketch out a few little drawings, and for the Golden Tooth, and for anybody else that you interact with who has been on this adventure, you're able to tell that they are the Ulrichian, the Zaffan, or at the very least, that one looks a little bit like Riviera, that one looks a little bit like Marden. That one bears a passing resemblance to Valanun the Chronogian.
Yeah.
She must have put out a large pile of food to get Martin to stand still long enough.
That was a lot. Those
Yes.
were a lot of consonants then, and I'm not sure I understood a lot of it.
Pyrelis has sketches of aliens.
Ah, yes, the Farm Flum, Badandulan.
Character that is that would be great. Thanks.
I'll note that
it's
for
like-
C Team.
It's looked like you were just like you were watching an episode of Countdown and didn't rearrange the words. That's how you came up with his aliens' names.
How dare you?
Sure, that's...
Martin Marazu is a great man.
Pyrelis, as you are approaching Tribor, sort of sights become more familiar, places that you have been to on some of your earlier missions, sort of farmsteads that you've protected start to go past. Occasional farmers sort of recognize you from horseback and just sort of tip their hat.
The smell of dookie wafts in the air.
Oh
The-
yeah, all the best farm smells.
The best farm smells hang heavily in the air. Is there any sort of preparation for the rest of the Golden Tooth you'd like to share about your family?
I've been here before.
just mentions in passing. Oh, by the way, my family are horribly racist.
I mean, we could have used that with your family, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I went in there all happy and sunshine. Not that How has any other setting. but
How
still.
does it have another mode?
Until you take air away, and then you get to the
Yeah,
little
then
bit.
it's. Oh.
So yeah, as they're traveling through, I think she would be explaining a bit about who's in her family. That her parents, her dad is Credo, mum is Cena, and she's got 4 siblings, 2 brothers,
Your
2
mum's
sisters.
John Cena.
No.
Yeah, but it's why she's never seen him.
Ba-da-ba.
And that 3 of her siblings are still at home, but her brother's local, so he'll probably drop in as well. She'd also explain. So basically, there's like a local tradition that's been brought up around the tavern, which is the Windswept Flame Tavern. When it was first opened, they had a big celebration. They had a large fire outside and roasted all sorts of meats and foods to get all of the townsfolk to come together. And it's become a yearly tradition, and it's due in the next couple of weeks, so preparations will start being made, and there will probably be people running around and a little bit of chaos, but that's kind of how their family has always been, because there's been a lot of them around, so, you know, chaos. But they're all lovely.
Cool.
And there isn't much you need to know about them other than they'll quite happily give us rooms, because, you know, family. But it might be a bit of a squeeze. Depends what rooms they've got free.
Cool. I'm sure they're going to be lovely.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they're definitely...
You've met my family.
Yeah.
They can't be anywhere near as bad as my grandparents ever will be.
Oh, they're really nice. They let me stay there, and I gave them money, but they let me stay there.
Well, good.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Should be fun.
They're,
And, you know, if they need any help with the preparations, I'm sure we can assist in some way if needed.
I can sweep the wind.
Possibly.
You can
We'll see
sweep
what
the
Dan says.
anyway.
But we should be there relatively soon, because I'm recognising lots of stuff around. And she'd be pointing out landmarks and things on the way and explaining various bits and bits.
That's where I met this person.
And that's where I stuffed my knee, and this is where...
That's where I saved this farm, and I shot a guy over there with an arrow. He was stealing
This is
from
the
farm.
this is the tree I hanged my first criminal from.
And this is where the person asked me out on a date, and this is where I hid their body after they turned me down.
And eventually you make it back into Tribor itself, which is a settlement of a size.
It's relatively kind of medium, small.
Yeah.
small, medium.
It's up and coming. I think is the plight and
That's how your friend describes his terrible band.
Yeah, we're up and coming. We're called.
it's the estate agent way of saying it. It's
an up and coming area.
it's
real
a
up-and-coming
nice
neighborhood.
it's a nice location. It's a lot of farmland, a lot of people that work the land live here.
It's nouveau rural.
It's on a trade route, so it is kind of the town that people stop at when they're traveling from sort of Waterdeep and the ports into the center of. Hey, AG, thank you for the raid. I realise I'm actually on the wrong screen.
Well,
so let's go to
then,
this
John,
one.
why would you do such a horrific thing?
That's it, John. You're fired.
You can't fire me. This isn't a democracy.
Oh. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna start doing that, acting like that Photoshop I did.
He's head at you?
You make your way into the town, and once again, Pyrrhus is filled with sort of all the emotions of hometown, and sort of, that's the corner where we did that thing, and
She doesn't shut up about it, does she? Jesus.
that's
She doesn't necessarily tell you about all of them. She's just excited.
where she went to school, and
Oh,
Yeah,
now
where
she's
she
showing
grew
off that she went to school. God. So elitist.
uh,
I went to school.
Well, la-di-da. I got to be in a temple for most of my life.
and eventually, sort of on the outskirts of the town, you make your way to the Windswept Tavern, which is one of the larger buildings in town. And it's a nice big sort of old building. It's clearly been here for a little while.
Great big bushy beard.
The building itself does not have a great big bushy beard.
Well,
Yeah.
then I'm not staying here.
It could have vines up all over it that looks like a beard if you want, though.
Vines just spring out of the ground and just wrap around the building.
It's got a particular placement of windows on one side that looks like eyes and a nose.
And you, as the afternoon sort of draws on into evening, as you arrive, you can hear the sound of people gathering in the tavern, sort of people that have worked a hard day, going for some company while they eat or something to do while they drink.
Well, shall we then?
Yeah,
We could meet some new friends.
we'll tie up the horses outside and then.
Yeah, I don't. I just start walking away from my...
Ties up the GGs.
Yeah, so Pi would walk in first and just head straight up to the bar where her dad would be sat.
Your dad is sat behind the bar, but before you get there, you are tackled by Nimia.
Yeah,
Full on rugby tackle.
lovely to see this. It's been a while.
I didn't know you were coming.
No, it was a little bit of a detour, but it's in the area. I couldn't not drop in.
Meanwhile, How?
Yes.
Roll me a dex check.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
You are shot from.
You are now dead.
Well, apparently
Oh, I
you
have-
wanted to roll a 22.
Yeah, apparently.
You just hear from behind you of footsteps getting faster and faster as they approaches you, and you just sort of step to one side just enough to avoid the tackle from Tarzia Brim, the youngest sister.
Hi.
Hello.
You are really fast.
You are faster.
That's because I move like the wind.
Can you teach
I-
me to do that?
Ruffle her hair, and one day.
You gotta go to a mountain and be there for your whole life to know.
But I haven't been at a mountain my whole life.
Yeah, but you've been somewhere cooler,
I've been in the tavern.
and that's
that-
where you're supposed to be. Because if you were supposed to be somewhere else, you'd be there already.
So what can I learn from being at a tavern my whole life?
You can learn how to run a tavern. You can learn what a tavern is, because I didn't know that until I got here.
I know
You
what a
can-
tavern is.
See, you know more than I do.
That's not hard.
That is mean.
I suppose.
I ruffle her hair with wind.
Heh.
Yeah, so Pi would hug both of them and then head on up to the bar. Hey, Dad.
Your dad looks up and sees you having been dealing with other customers and eases himself up from his stool onto his crutch cane that is sort of positioned next to him and just moves down the tavern towards you. Pyrolus!
Hey.
You didn't tell
I,
us you were coming.
No, it was a little last minute, but you know, had to drop in. Would have been rude not to, after all.
Hi, Pyrellus' dad!
Yeah, I've got Hal with me still, and
You still sticking with him then?
Yeah.
Oh, you brought him again.
yeah, he's learning a lot. And
I know how to pick locks now.
Pi will roll her eyes at that.
Are you
just
teaching
like
him
that.
these things?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
Nah. I'll
No,
explain it later.
I saw someone else do it and it looked super easy, so I did it, and it worked.
And Tazia just looks behind you, her eyes light up. Can you teach me?
Oh, it's really easy. You just get some things and you put them in the lock and you move them around and then they open.
Tazia just...
And thus every single door in the tavern was filled with straw and dog.
Hey, it what? How 100% believes he can do this?
And yeah, I've bought two other friends with us. We met them en route. We've been on a
Yeah.
bit of an adventure. This is
They are Kalzaram and Malazik.
Malzare and Calderax.
I was close.
You were. You're getting there.
Kratos looks at the pair of you and offers the hand that isn't currently clutching a crutch.
Shakes his hand. A pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yes, if you are friends of Pyrolus, then you are welcome here.
Well, we thank you for your hospitality.
I thank you for looking after my daughter.
Well, she's been an easy one to look after. See, other people have been difficult.
I am blissfully unaware.
I gathered you would be.
Kratos just has a smile on his face that just shows that he is fully aware of what you mean.
I'm great.
So I see preparations underway.
Yes. It's a few weeks' time, but... Oh, I mean, if you're here now, we could fire it up a little early. Give your friends an experience.
I mean, if you're happy to, at least a mini version would be nice.
He sits down heavily in the chair stool that is behind the bar and just slams the cane into the ground 2 to 3 times and just bellows for Finn and Vance. And one of them pops out from the kitchen, another one just sort of turns from in the tavern somewhere where he was clearing a table, and you see two men in their late teens, early 20s. Who, for Calderax and for Malzere, look like Pyrolis, but masculine. Like they're both
And not Asima.
human. They're both muscled. The sort of muscle that they've worked. That they do hard manual labor on a daily basis. So sort of not bodybuilder muscles, but
They're just strong.
strong.
They are strong men.
Yeah.
Pumping
suddenly
their
Russian.
muscles.
Apparently.
Welcome to Windswept Devon.
Welcome to.
Welcome back, sister.
Apparently, your brothers are now Colossus. I seem to remember this ends poorly for Colossus's sister.
Listen, Wade.
How have you been, brother? I have been well.
I have always been brother.
Is old Triborian accent, yeah.
I miss the old country.
Your brothers both make their way through the crowd and come up and awkwardly offer handshake hugs, sort of the we've not seen you for a little while, how are we showing emotion in this moment?
How do you show emotion? I do not know.
What is
Their
emotion?
hands out the way and hug them.
We are too muscular to experience such things.
Yeah, she'd push their hands to the side and hug both of them, and then do the introductions.
I'm sorry, I can't help think of them as Russian.
Wireless, introduce us to friend, so that we can crush them.
Sean, I think we broke your brothers.
No, I think they broke my brothers.
How dare you? We did nothing. We improved them.
Actually, yes, to be fair, I think they broke your brothers.
We did.
Yeah.
We purposely.
We have done nothing of sort.
How dare you impugn my honor?
Finn and Vance are introduced to the Golden Tooth, and Kratos sends them out to ensure that the firewood that has been gathered is enough for the fires to be started this evening. And then he also sends Nimia to both find Tazia and to ensure that there are enough clean rooms for the four of you.
Oh, we only need 3 rooms because Calsum and Mouse will stay together, I think. I lean in and I'm just like, I think they've been kissing.
Kratos looks at Calderax and Malzere for confirmation of this.
He's just like massaging temples.
Do you...
I'm sure 1 room will suffice for me and Malzere.
He claps his hands together. Excellent.
That E was Hal and me.
1 bar patron kind of like looks around trying to find where the mosquito is.
Perhaps tomorrow I'll help collect some more firewood. Obviously, we're using some this evening then.
Oh, I can help.
And we can, I mean, I will. I don't know about Malzere because they are not here to actually confirm what I.
Malzere, for his
They
part...
remain stoically silent.
Malzere, for his part, disappears to the other end of the bar from this and orders from either Pyrolus's mum or somebody else who serves in the tavern.
Someone
I
else.
thought, I thought
Mum
he,
would be in the kitchen.
I thought he was ordering Pyrolus's mum.
I will have one Pyrolus's mum, please.
One mother, please.
I'll have one mother, and maybe later I'll have an aunt.
We'll order from somebody else who is working at the tavern and just takes a large tankard of ale into a dark corner of the tavern.
What the hell? How do I have so much gold?
Because you don't spend it on anything.
I have 1,000 gold.
I have 5 platinum and 963 gold.
I don't want gold.
Well, give it all to all of us then.
I'll find someone to give it to. Give me time.
So, Dad, is Mum around?
Yes, she's in the kitchen.
Yeah, she's at that tiefling's table.
Hello.
Yeah, we'll head around and say hi. Cal, I don't know whether you want to come as well. I can see Mal's set up over there.
Well, I might as well, because I have a sneaking suspicion they're not going to be very talkative.
That's fair.
Oh, I'll come say hi to your mum. I liked her last time. She's really fun.
So yeah, we'll head out into the back, and she will be cooking all sorts of stuff, doing her usual preparations. There'll be various meats and vegetables and spices and stuff. All
Various pots and pans bubbling and sizzling and frying and...
yeah. Hey, Mum, how are you?
Pyrolus, dear, I didn't know you were home.
Yeah, it wasn't planned, but we have to drop in. You see, still got Hal with us and
Hi!
Mrs. Calderax.
Why, Pyrus, you didn't tell me your younger sister was in the kitchen here.
She'll just
I
glare at you.
look really confused. She just told you that was her mother. Did you hit your head? Do you have space madness?
Oh,
Cena will glare at Calderax and then look questioningly at Hal.
Oh, yeah, we went to space. I don't know if you know what space is, but there's a lot of it, and we went there with a hippo man, and we fought some monsters that sound like you ripped up pages in a dictionary. Like, I'm pretty sure one was called a Glargan Fleck.
That's an interesting story, but unfortunately, almost as soon as you started it, your lips kept moving, but the words didn't come out anymore.
Oh, what?
Calderax casted silence upon you.
Oh, you bastard! you little rapscallion!
So pretty much you said, we went into
We went into space. It was a weird thing with all sorts of strange people that don't look like anyone from here.
Do I know I've been silenced?
I'm pretty sure you...
Intelligent, surely. Have you figured it out?
Nope.
Nope.
So as you're explaining it, I'm like, I know, I just said that.
The lips move, but you don't hear Hal at the moment.
I just thought it best that maybe your daughter should explain it.
I
There
think I
was
did a
some-
great job.
Some people we had to help. We were a long
Well,
way
that
off,
is your thing.
and yeah, it's I think we did okay. It was interesting meeting a lot of new people and learning some really cool new medical stuff as well. I'd love to tell you about it later.
Her eyes light up at the sound of new medical knowledge.
Yeah, it's,
Or anything that will help the guild.
yeah, it should be good. I've got some bits written down. The drawings aren't much, but anything that helps me explain it, I'm sure.
It was never really your strong suit.
Out of interest, how long has Hal got on silence?
Up to 10
Up
minutes.
to 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes.
So at this point, Ember will have noticed something at the back door and is scratching against it. And Pi will look at her mum with a look of, I think I know what that is, and get a look back of,
Confirming.
yeah, you do. Cal? I know that Hal is silent at the moment.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Can we drop that, please? There's something he's going to want to have a conversation about, but be prepared we might need it back.
But it's so nice and
Please.
quiet.
It's only temporary, I'm sure.
Fine. Unsilence.
Care to open the back door? Clearly Ember wants to go outside.
Oh, okay. Come on, Ember. I do so.
And with that, there are a whole pile of foxes all coming to say hello.
Arf, arf, arf. Arf.
I see the local foxes have
I'll
been
just,
busy again, Mum.
Just goes to the back door. There you
How's just
suddenly-
running around squealing silently.
go. Just him rolling around the foxes all over.
You're not paying attention, suddenly there's blood everywhere. They've ripped our apart.
Nope, they'll,
Well, it's how he would have wanted to go.
I mean, yeah, that's how I'd
Torn
want to die.
apart by foxes.
they'll all be very well trained. And mostly allowed in the house.
Yeah,
So,
they've
yeah.
been busy again, but once you've trained one,
Yeah. And
You've
They are
trained
lovely
one,
to have
you
around.
to train all the rest of them.
it's easier the second time.
Oh, right. Never trained a fox.
It's easier the second time.
Well, I'll take your word for that, because I've never trained them, and you obviously have.
You hear silently from the back door. You see silently from the back door.
Yeah.
It goes with other things too. Sometimes it's easier the second time round.
hmm.
Um,
Hal just rolls past the door with 5 foxes chasing him.
How many of them are there now?
40.
Oh, we're up to nearly a dozen now, I think.
Awesome. I'm sure Ember will enjoy the time to meet some
Michael
siblings.
wants to
And,
live here.
and Hal's clearly beside himself, so
Yes, he has a way with them, or they have a way with him. I can't quite tell.
Bit of both.
they're
Probably.
on some similar level. So
You kind of just see a look cross her eyes of, I wonder how much of the fox training would work with him.
Wow. Wow. Hurtful. Also very.
but
little.
Hal's too busy to notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there anything that we can help with to set up? Dad said we're gonna do a mini fire feast early.
I mean, if we're doing it early because you're here, then no, you're the guest of honor. We'll get it prepared. You can help afterwards if you want.
Yes, help with the cleaning up.
Well, that's lovely, thank you. I guess we should probably head upstairs and rest up a bit. It has been a long travel.
Yes, if you've been riding for a while, where have you been? Other than space, that I'm not fully sure where that is.
Just think a long, long way up. And then some more.
She looks up at the roof. Okay.
Like imagine the clouds, then go further.
She just looks up slightly higher.
It was unusual, but yeah, no, we did what we need to. And before that, we stopped in at Malzere and Caldrax's parents. There was something we had to attend to, but it's sorted.
Oh.
They were garbage people.
But yes, we've been heading around the place.
Touring, apparently.
Yeah, but it's been nice, and these.
The Underdark was fun.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell us all about it over dinner.
Yes, I will do. Might as well explain it to everyone rather than one at a time. There's quite a few of us.
Well, hang on. If you've been travelling for a while, I'll get. She rings a bell in the kitchen, and Nimia appears at the kitchen entrance. And Sina asks Nimia to prepare baths for the four of you in your rooms.
Oh, lovely.
And Nimia sort of grumbles about Tazia making a mess upstairs as she leaves.
She's putting things in the blocks, isn't she?
I don't know where she got that idea.
And Nimia will lead the three of you up to your respective rooms.
I am carrying as many boxes as I can.
Screaming up to the room.
Malzere is quite drunk at this point.
Jesus Christ, that was quick.
He
definitely
has,
takes him up to the room
he has had a few.
to make sure he knows where it is, or at the very least he can leave him in the room. So
Probably some local drink that's particularly strong that he thought he'd try.
Yeah. You do pass Tazia, who is crouched in front of one of the empty rooms. And there's just like a pile of small sticks and matches, and you think like a carrot that's been broken, and she's just trying to stuff anything into the lock to try and get two things in there that she can move. And there's just like 5 or 6 things sticking out of the lock that you get the feeling that they're probably going to have to call a locksmith to deal with this. They're probably going to need a new lock for this room.
One of the brothers would be handy enough to fix it, I reckon.
I can fix lock, do not worry.
This door is nothing for mighty Moss.
You are shown into serviceable rooms. There's a bed and a table and a chair, and Nimia will bring in a tin bath filled with water.
Oh boy.
She's bringing in the whole bath.
She
No,
brings
isn't
in
bringing
the
it.
bath.
One of the brothers is. I bring the bath for you.
Don't worry, I carry with one hand.
She brings in the bath, and then over the course of several trips brings in the water.
That makes more sense.
And fills a bath for each of you. Obviously, in the tiefling's room, there are 2 baths.
They only need the one. It just needs to be slightly bigger.
They don't have that facility, unfortunately.
Or slightly smaller.
But she prepares for each of you a bath of warm water and That's
Soap.
probably about it. Soap and a
Yeah,
cloth.
there'd be some soap around.
Uh, nice little soap with WS carved into it that you get the feeling that somewhere downstairs in the kitchen,
There's lots of
Cena
scraps of soap.
Cena has made soap from some herbs and things.
I just need to make a quick intelligence check.
Tries
Also,
to
that'd
eat the
be-
soap.
How eats part of the soap?
Can I call
It doesn't
soap.
taste great.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste horrible.
Nemia would be trying really, really hard not to laugh, but you can see that she's not quite holding on to it.
It's like, water's enough to keep you clean. How's not one for soap and things? So she's like, oh, it smells nice. I'm gonna make a second intelligence check.
Continues eating the soap.
How eats the rest to be polite?
Pie would stop you after the first bite. She'd see you go for the second and just be like, how? That's not for eating, that's for washing.
Do I need to wash it?
No, it's for washing yourself, like you do in the water, but this creates bubbles.
Bubbles.
Apparently, you are burping up bubbles for the next 14 minutes.
No, that was me rolling for Nimia to see if she felt like stopping you, but Pyrolis got there first.
Oh,
Nimia,
thanks, Nimmy.
Nimia was torn between the entertainment of you eating the soap and actually, stopping you from eating all of the soap.
Look,
Torn between-
how doesn't want to be rude? Just because someone's cooking is bad doesn't mean you don't eat it.
We'll rest up for a bit, and we'll head downstairs when things are a little more prepared. I mean, or when you feel like it, but you'd miss out on the food.
Relaxes in bath.
Pie would
I have a very
properly-
splashy bath, for the record.
would properly explain to how the soap works, what you do with it, that you don't eat it, and should have also probably, given how long she's known how, put towels down all the way around the bath.
That is absolutely the right thing to do.
And yes, she
Yeah,
will
towards
also
the end of
have
my
just
bath.
reminded him not to come downstairs naked.
Okay, but I can be upstairs naked.
You can be in your room naked, but outside the room there's clothes.
Okay. I think I've got it. Why?
Because some
Everyone's naked. We
Some
put stuff
people-
over it.
don't like to see the nakedness. That's up to
stupid.
each person, but it's better not to force that view onto other people. If they
But it's
can't.
just people.
But it's like how everyone's houses are different. We all have styles. We all have things we like and we don't like. It's just how some people are, and you have to be respectful of that. But what you do in your
I-
own space when it's just you can do what you like.
Tazia shouts from down the corridor, "It's icky and cold."
What?
Tazia shouts from down the corridor, "It's icky being naked and cold."
But you get to feel all the air around you. It's the best way for a Kadi to whisper in your ear.
But your ear is always naked.
Unless
but,
you wear a hat.
A Kadi doesn't have a mouth, so she... And you just feel it, you know?
Pie will just pat him on the shoulder and okay, and just wander out. and will probably go and help her sister remove whatever stuff's been stuck in a lock somewhere before going and having a wash.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, I was just trying to do the thing.
We'll see if we can find someone to teach you properly, shall we?
But
One
but
day.
Hal said to do it this way.
Yes, but Hal doesn't have the best grasp on what tools were being used.
Oh.
How dare you? He was amazing.
It's a skill that takes a lot of practice. Sometimes you can pull it off, but better to practice.
Is it because he was born in a temple again? Because he's so lucky.
How loud did she say that?
Probably
have heard
not. Make me a perception check. You definitely heard that.
I wasn't born in a temple.
I merely got thrown into one.
He spent his whole life in a temple. That's so long. I also don't know why your sister's American now.
I don't know. I've
I
got a
have
whole
that effect.
weird,
I have that effect on people.
got a weird family from all over the place.
Apparently.
I don't know what you're talking about. We have always been family.
We are family all the time.
We have always been here. You are one that is speaking silly.
I think you're a British spy.
Worst British spy ever. I am British spy. I speak with British accent.
I am British spy. Do you not hit? Can you not tell?
As you can tell, I am British citizen. Can you not tell? Fantastic accent.
Anyway.
Turnover.
Tazia will sort of disappear down the corridor and go, probably at this point find something nice to wear for the fire ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Hot fire.
Not actually fire, because that's impractical for wearing purposes.
Wearing hot fire.
I will probably have found something slightly warmer to give to Hal, because they will be sat outside late at night. Whether he chooses to wear it or not is his own choice, but it's an option. It is there for him. And she will knock on doors when it's time to head back to Moonstone.
Not necessarily our doors, just all doors.
Just randomly, just.
What? One's got a bunch of stuff in the lock, so the guy there's like, oh my god, I've really got to pee.
Someone help!
And eventually, upon getting you all out and ensuring that Hal was fully dressed again,
Yep.
you all go downstairs. Nimia and Tazia are dressed in not quite matching, but close styled dresses. Both sort of reds and yellows.
The brothers will look a little bit smarter, but not too smart.
We wear best clothes for event.
The brothers are still sort of in sort of tavern-ish uniform, so they've kind of got aprons over the top of their slightly
Now
nicer
there is-
clothes.
Now there is tie.
And fancy hat.
I am wearing common bond.
I am sorry.
I'm not.
I think we're just gonna have to write your brothers out of the campaign.
Suddenly they
Yeah.
were both struck by lightning. They were fine though. Lightning cannot harm our mighty bodies.
Certain hippo man's just come and stolen them.
Kratos and Cena are also nicer dressed, and because it involves going outside, Kratos has his false leg on. So there's kind of an odd gait to his walk and a mismatched sort of footsteps, as one leg doesn't do a whole lot of movement in the middle.
Lovely.
He has a wooden leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one leg.
If would Pi spot you looking baffled about it?
Oh, technically, Caldrax isn't baffled. I didn't know.
Yeah, fair.
I just heard that he was on a crutch, so I assumed like maybe he's just old.
He was on a crutch. He yeah.
I didn't know
so,
he was. I didn't know he was legless on a crutch.
Yeah, that's why he sits on his bar stool.
Fair enough. I mean, no doubt Caldrax would be curious as to how he lost his leg, but I don't think he would all out ask.
So,
Yeah.
what's with the leg?
Hal would already know, because Hal would have already asked.
Yeah, you'd be surprised that as a guy that walks with a walking stick due to a disability, some people just have no like tact
Filter
to
on
it.
that.
Yeah, like people just openly stare at my leg when I'm walking around as if they're going, "Oh, what's wrong there?" And like, I have genuinely just had people go, "So what happened to your leg?" I'm like, "All right, rude."
That would have been Hal the first time round.
I don't think Hal would have known or cared. If I'm honest,
Yeah, maybe
not like
not.
in a mean way. It's just like, okay, he's got a weird leg, cool. Like,
And moving on.
yeah, you're giving Hal too much credit.
Fair.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I think Pi would, as they're still setting up the last bits and pieces, would sort of be sat around the table and Pi would be explaining how.
I mean, yeah, that you probably do need to explain it quite a lot.
Yeah, so before we had this place, we had the farm, and that was Windstrap Farm, which is kind of where the name ran into for this place. And
It
they
is the best name.
it was a great farm and it was going well, but people came and tried to steal. Dad tried to stop them, and they spooked one of our horses that kicked over a large cart, and it basically crushed him. We tried everything, which, given mum's in the apothecary guild, she does a lot of healing and things. We tried our best to save his leg, but there was just nothing for it.
I see.
And he couldn't keep up with the farm anymore, as much as me and Mum both tried. Just, it wasn't possible, so we ended up opening this place instead. And we wanted to rally everyone around. It's important to have community when different things go on, so we made the feast.
Oh,
And it continues to be popular, so
evidently, I mean, there's plenty of people. I'm assuming there's plenty of people around.
yeah, there'll be people come back to the area. Even if they've moved away, they tend to come back for the feast. It's a good excuse to see family and things. It's become quite a success. It's a sad start, but we've turned it around.
Even for the short notice of there being a special feast this evening, people haven't made it from out of town yet, but a lot of the townsfolk have gathered around for a special feast for Pyrolis is a bit of a local celebrity. The name her name is known, and a lot of people recognize her, and a lot
She's
of the
helped
people,
a lot of the community, so
yeah, a lot of the people come into the tavern or come up to the. Will say hello to her as much as they greet the parents and sort of make sure that they come up and say thank you or give you an update about the animals or the children, or that's the sort of local things, the people you may have saved, the people you may have helped with medicines. Obviously it's not always good updates. You do get a couple of people that come up and say, like, it's nice to see you again, unfortunately elderly relative passed away, but you get some good, you get some bad.
yeah.
But
it's all of those family updates, how whatever I saved is going.
And it does almost seem like half the town has shown up for the festival, for the special pre-feast feast.
I think Howard would get a bit like territorial with Pyrolus, be like, no, she's my best friend.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Malzere, for once, looks like he's happy not to be the center of attention. Just at the moment.
I don't know. We'll see about
Malzere may change this opinion later, but at the moment, given the discussion I double-checked with Amy earlier, Malzere will be quite happy to just be left alone for now.
Okay.
That conversation can also happen at a probably next session.
Pi, as people are coming up, would be introducing them to everyone, and just not necessarily even for them to have a conversation, but just pointing at who she's with and, like, giving names and things, and just doing the usual social sort of knitting people together.
This is how you know him, and this sexy motherfucker is Caldera.
And this handsome boy is Ember.
Arf.
And you know me, I am her brother.
And I am brother.
You do get...
Next characters make them all sisters.
That's fine.
Oh,
I
Because I want to hear these two sister voices.
Don't worry, we can manage that. Hello, I am Pyrolus' sister.
Yes, I am also Pyrolus' sister.
Michael, we need to make two brothers who both talk nice.
Done.
Next campaign.
I look forward to it already.
We look forward to everything.
And we'll both be halfling.
We'll both be like halfling barbarians.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Over the course of the evening, as people sort of come up to Pyrolus and get introduced to you, people do come over and sort of introduce themselves. You do get a lot of the people do introduce themselves and sort of talk to you a little bit as Calderax and Malzere. You do get a couple of people who are a bit forgetful of names, and you do get a number of people that do, the same sort of thing as Hal does.
Kalazam and Malzadoot.
Let's have a quick look. I've got what have I got here? I've got Blight. I can use that.
Just so it gets your name wrong, you cast conflict wounds when you shake their hand. Good to see you. You try at one of the brothers, and she's like, "What are you doing? It tickles."
You have slightly scratched an itch on my hand.
Like you, I had itch for days.
Yes. Anyway, so we are introduced people. People happen. People are
John,
there.
John googling how to kill all party members.
TPK, how to do.
How?
Yeah.
Remind me of your hair. What's it like?
So it's shaved on the side, like on the top, and then a little ponytail.
Make me a perception check.
Oh, hello.
Your hair is falling out.
Okay. You notice a tugging on your ponytail.
Hello.
Sorry, I thought you were a small dove. What? Who's doing that? I turn around.
It is Tazia.
That's my hair.
I was trying to... And she holds up a flower and a ribbon.
I immediately kneel down and let her do it.
She braids your ponytail into a braid with the... it's an orange and yellow ribbon and a flower
How do
on
I
the
look?
end. You look really fashionable.
Do you have a spare one so I can do yours?
She runs off. And then comes back about 5 minutes later with an identical ribbon and flower.
I do her hair. And drive away.
It's like rip off. And then a motorbike goes.
Eventually, after a big fire and the theatrics that go along with large barbecues and much meat being prepared, large roast meats are served to you four first, and then the rest of the town.
Great big fucking meaty bastards.
I don't eat meat.
There will also be loads of vegetables.
A jackfruit for you.
And
What do you mean not eat meat? Meat is how you get muscles.
Kratos hands you all of the 4 plates of meat, and then as soon as he turns his back, Cena sort of replaces House with a plate of vegetables.
Thank you.
She nods.
I
And
would
then-
snuck it to Ember otherwise.
And then she just kind of pours the meat over the fence, and the fox is just...
Yes! That's what I would have done anyway.
Yeah. Eat meat.
Meat, 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 meat.
Meat.
Meat is the best. It helps us go big and strong.
Glorious meat reminds me of the motherland.
And by that I mean this place, because this is where we are from.
This is the motherland, of course.
This
it
is our motherland.
I am not spy. What are you talking about?
Who said spy? I didn't say spy.
Is there anything you guys would like to do as your characters for the rest of the evening?
I would like to play one of Pyrolus's brothers for us.
I don't know if they would be. I mean, there's lots of random strangers. I don't know how much Caldrax would be interested in any of them, unless they find out he's a cleric. At which point, everyone will go, "I've got this bunion on my foot."
I've got some itches when I pee.
You're
Oh,
safe
my
from that.
rheumatism! Oh.
'Cause
I
Cena
have
does all
slight
of the
rash on
potions.
foot.
Yeah, Cena does the local healings.
Yeah, so they probably wouldn't
So,
really.
so you're all safe.
That's right then. So yeah, he would just enjoy himself and eat and talk.
How would just like entertain people by moving things with the air?
Admittedly, he probably would start getting a bit bored near the end. So what's one of the things I can do with this?
How makes like a crane or like a boat
Yeah.
and just floats it in the
Yeah.
air.
Near the end, well, like as it goes on, he'll just start like making the fire change color, and get bright, dim down, flare back up again.
Do you do this as a very obvious, I'm doing this, look how fabulous my magic is, or does this just kind of...
he's just gonna like sit at the table, just.
Okay. There's a lot of oohs and ahs.
Most of them are how.
and a lot of the younger children from the tavern, or from the town, including Pyrelis' two younger sisters, just look on in awe as the fire just flickers to green and then flickers to blue and then flares up to 3 times, not 3, it's double its size.
Yeah, double, yeah.
Burning
then,
them,
like,
killing them instantly.
Dims down darker and then just flares up again.
You accidentally burn down half the farm.
And they just... There's just massive applause at the magic that is
that is a fucking cantrip.
clearly coming from somewhere,
Yeah.
but they can't tell
They're not
exactly
sure
where.
who to applause for it, so they're just going for a general one.
They're just applauding the fire at the moment, assuming that...
Galdrax doesn't care. He's not. Well, I was about to say he's not flamboyant, but he's not as keen to be center of attention as certain other tieflings in the group would be.
Malzere doesn't know what you mean.
So yeah, he just fuck around with the fire, just as the night winds on.
Pi would probably at some point have got up from the table and would be heading over to speak to her mum about the stuff she's written down. And en route, she'd probably put a hand on Caldrac's shoulder. Less flames. And just carry on. She wouldn't say it so that anyone else noticed, but she knows.
Yeah.
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 And then it would just be like, it would roll round into toasting marshmallows, because that's what we do when you're on
Chestnuts
fire.
roasting on an open fire.
And then people would, I guess, slowly start to disappear and head back home.
Yeah.
It's good that you added the head back home bit, because just disappear would be ominous.
Just-
That's how everyone travels in this town, don't you know?
One of them just looks at you straight in the eyes. Calderax, I don't want to go.
Mr. Caldrax, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And your mum brings out her...
Your mum.
And Cena brings out a very large book with lots of notes.
I'm really sorry, John.
And just opens it to about the 3/4 of the way in mark, where it's clear that she's got some space in the book, and she just starts copying the notes that you've made and sort of comparing them to other notes in the book. Then it's clearly a book that she's had made that sort of is about halfway through sort of a standard printed, well, not printed because you don't have a printing press at the time, but
Yet.
a standard medical text that she's just had extra pages put into the back of, that has all her notes on herbology and alchemy and apothecarying.
Go on.
What's the word for actually being an apothecary? Is it just being an apothecary?
Being an apothecary.
Apotheying.
To apothe.
Apotheizing.
He, she, it apothes.
And basically, like, half the book is the sort of the standard
Yeah, no, an apothecary
thing.
is the title. So you would be an apothecary.
And then there are just like notes that she's scribbled stuck in there, and then the rest is still sort of filled in neat her neat handwriting to just carry on the rest of the book. And it's a mix of herbology and healing and alchemy and
I think useful bits and pieces.
low level magics, as well as recipes, combinations of drinks that work well, tips for raising foxes. It's kind of seen as all in one book of useful stuff. Which I kind of now want to just make as a book.
Do it.
I just want to have a book of useful stuff.
The Book of Things, written by John. Page 1, wear trousers. Page 2, buy trousers.
Page 3, time to do squats.
Page 4, dos vedenia.
But she sort of cross-references in the information that you've gleaned from your space adventures, and sort of you see that she refers some of it back to previous stuff within the book. And some of it is new stuff that isn't in the book yet, but she adds it to notes to just sort of add to the book when she has the proper time and lighting to do so. And then sort of as the night draws into the late hours of, the middle of the night, everybody sort of drifts back inside, and the two sisters who are already asleep on outside tables get picked up by the brothers.
We put you into bed.
It's like holding a couple of grapes.
Who gently take their sisters upstairs to bed.
Lifting them like a waiter carries food, just like, this is nothing.
Yeah, this
I
is
can
not-
carry 10 of these. I carry whole ox to bed.
The ox in the field just looks over slightly startled.
He looks over as, where are you taking me?
I didn't ask for this.
And eventually the four of you all drift to your own rooms, and possibly interaction between Calderax and Malzere occurs here.
We do not know.
We'll work on this for next time.
I was applauding. That was.
Yeah,
And then Dawn.
I would actually, if possible, like to have a conversation with Pyrolis.
Well, I think the player for Pyrolis is here.
What? Who plays Pyrolis?
Come on down!
ladies and gentlemen, star of.
So is this at the point that I'm just currently dictating that it's late at night and everybody's drifting
Yeah,
to
as-
bed, or...
As people all drift to like their rooms and things, I'd like to just knock gently on Pyrolis's door.
Yeah, come in.
It's only me.
Oh, hey.
What's it like
What like?
having a family and stuff?
I mean, it's much like having friends. They've just been there for much longer. You know?
Does that make my master and my family?
Really, I guess you can choose whoever you want as family. Like, they might not technically be family, but you can still see them like it.
It's just weird.
But friends are the family you choose for yourself. So, you know,
Yeah.
you can pick anyone you like.
I like that.
And then, of course, there's the other ways you can gain family, like marrying people and stuff. But
I don't think I'm ready to marry a person. Do you think
Marry a-
Calderon, do
Marry
you
a
think
fox, on the
Calderon
other
and
hand.
Malzuri are gonna get married?
I don't know. Would be a pretty flamboyant wedding if they did, though, wouldn't it?
I think there'd be lots of pretty colors.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
Your family's really nice. I hope mine were too.
I'm sure they would have been. But the more important people are the people that you have around. So, you know.
I guess I'm just. You get all this.
I mean, there's enough of us. I'm sure they wouldn't mind one more.
You know what I mean?
I know. But it is what you make of it. You have Akadi,
I do.
which is someone you've had far longer than most people have had God, a religion. So you're lucky in some ways.
It's true. God, he's always been with me, they say. It's
Yeah.
how I ended up at the temple.
So maybe that's part of it.
It's just your sister's always jealous of me.
She's young. She doesn't really understand. She will one day. But no, everyone has their differences. She's had things that you haven't, you've had things that she hasn't. It's just how it is. Everyone has differences. But it is what we make of it.
Yeah. Well, I like my traveling family a lot.
Exactly. We're an interesting group, but it works.
Yeah, we're very, very cool.
So,
Like the coolest.
yeah, we've done all right. It's an
Okay.
interesting mix of people, but you know, you can have whatever family you choose to make.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna let you go to bed.
Sleep well, and see you in the morning.
Good night.
Night.
And I leave.
Making that noise as you go, or
Who knows?
the following day. How quickly do you guys want to get back on the road back to?
That's something that Pi would probably discuss with them at breakfast.
Keep and also hunting for the Pyre Mall.
Yeah, she would question what sort of when we need to leave. I don't know whether anyone has any preference.
You know from your notes that the Pyre Mall is located somewhere near-ish to Tribor, so that you could theoretically go to it and come back again. Not necessarily in one day, but sort of as a brief interlude while you stayed here, you could go and return and then go back to home.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, so it's up to you guys how long we stay,
My
whether we
internet
base
died for the last
ourselves here.
couple minutes. What happened since I left Pyrolus's room?
Morning broke. And Pyrolis is questioning on how quickly people want to move on to the next step of the journey and
Give me
how
2 ticks. I'm gonna switch to the. I can't hear anything that's happening. Give me 1 second.
excellent.
Does Caldorax have any suggestions while we're...
Well, I mean, you all dropped everything to help me, so it's only right that I helped you with this Pyre Mall situation.
Okay, I'm back.
Cool.
Hi.
Hello.
Let's-
Then
What
we
happened?
should
Dawn
Just-
broke.
Oh no! Anyone got the sellotape?
And
Yeah, so it's morning. We're just discussing whether we base ourselves from here to go and do the next bit or travel on.
I like it here. There are lots of foxes.
Okay, that's one vote for here.
well,
Calvert?
we might as well stay. If this Pyre Mall's nearby, we might as well, like, base here until we find it, and then either stay a little bit longer and then move on, or then move.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't want to force you to stay here, but you know, if you're quite happy here, then it's probably the most straightforward thing to do, isn't it?
Makes sense. It's a place that we now relatively know that we can do stuff in.
There are some other stores and things further into town, so we can also get a bit of a resupply.
Sounds good.
By do stuff, do you mean kissing Mal?
Glares at him.
So if
Look
that's decided,
away
I'll
from it.
Pi will interrupt. So if that's decided, then I'll just go and check that they've definitely got the rooms for us.
Okay.
And she will head on up to the bar and go and speak to her dad.
They want more rooms!
What do you mean? We will build more room at once. We have built it using our mighty hands.
Your father will beam with happiness that you are staying for a while longer, and assure you that, of course, there will be rooms. He might need to move some people around, but that'll be fine.
Awesome, thanks. Well, we've got some bits and pieces to do in the local area, so best to get those sorted first. And she would go through with her dad what other of the bits and pieces are around in town, what's still there since she was last there, anything
Right.
that's changed, just as a, kind of get a lay of the land again. Just
He will catch you up on that information, and it's pretty much not changed that much. It's a lot of the things. It's as said at the beginning, it's a small and upcoming town, so
yeah.
it's kind of a lot of the established shops and things are sort of family-run businesses that serve the local
Yeah.
farmers as sort of a trading thing, as well as being sort of the town itself is a rest stop on the trip from bringing stock in from the ports to sort of the on-land trade routes. So while it's not necessarily the best stocked town, give the people a couple of days and they can get pretty much anything.
Yeah.
If we've not had it, if we've not got it in now, the next time somebody passes through with it, we can trade them for it. Is there anything that you guys wish to shop for before heading out looking for the location on your map?
Pie
How-
would restock
There's that
rations.
mosquito again.
Hal would like to find a florist,
Okay.
and he wants to buy like a bouquet
Okay.
to give. Did I accidentally close roll 20? I think I did.
Yes, you're not in the game anymore.
That explains a lot. Why am I bad at this?
I don't know.
He would like to buy a bouquet, like a really nice flowers to give to the family for letting them stay.
Okay. I will say that can cost anywhere from 5 silver up to 2 gold, depending on how big and elaborate you want it to be.
Cool. He just gets like just like a probably a 1 gold thing, but gives them like 25 gold because he doesn't understand how money works.
Aw.
Are you doing this on your own, or...
It depends if I'm trusted to leave on my own.
Would Pyrolis trust him to go on his own?
She'd have probably left you in the shop on your own.
Yeah, then yeah, I will probably have done this.
Okay, you take the 1 gold piece thing, and the very confused, slightly elderly shopkeeper just looks down at the amount of gold and starts trying to give you the excess back.
I will pay 6 gold for it. No, I rolled for it.
The shopkeeper looks confused, counts it a couple of times, and tries to hand you the 5 gold back.
I'm already leaving.
But you... And then they just put it in the cash box. And chalk it up to that weird boy.
I am that weird boy.
He is a very weird boy.
Yeah. I go out and I show them to Pyrolis and be like, look what I bought. It's for your family because they're letting us stay.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure they'll really appreciate it.
Pyrolis, rations for a day cost 5 silver pieces.
How long do we think we're likely to be away for?
Most people stock up on, well, I mean, a week's worth of rations, which in Faerun is a 10-day, would set you back 2.5 gold.
Okay. Yeah, alright.
Excuse me.
And then obviously if you're there for, if it takes a little bit longer, you've got a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, okay. My rations haven't ever gone down, so I'm assuming that I'm just topping them back up to where they were.
I don't usually count food because I find it really boring to say that, but
Yeah, I'll just take some money down and assume
Yeah.
that...
I really should, because there's like a whole thing on like how much your lifestyle costs.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's also really boring to track. Like,
It
I
all
paid my
depends-
rent.
It all depends how you do it. I've done it in a way that, if they're in like a normal place, like a town, I just assume they can get food. But if they're out and about and I know it's going to be an arduous journey, I ask them, "Hey, have people, done their rations and shit?" And make
Yeah,
them
I mean
roll
that's
to
fair.
like scavenge and things like that. But if it's like you're walking the 2-day journey to and from a city, I don't bother.
That's fair. I mean, I know that, for instance, when we did Tomb of Annihilation, we had, or when we were doing early bits of the Tomb of Annihilation, Philippe, the barbarian, just like scavenged and found enough food for everybody in the party for a week every day. So it's like, well, yeah, of course you're fine. You, as long as you don't roll poorly for the scavenging, you find fresh food. If you do roll poorly for the scavenging, you've got a food that's a little bit staler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she... Yeah, I don't think she's got any weapons or anything that she'd want. There might be a few repair bits that she
Right.
gets help with, but...
Hot glue, stitches. Yeah.
a very helpful man with a bandolier of rolls of cotton comes on and has a little sign.
His toolbox and his sign.
Just a little toolbox comes up and helps you with your armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then just disappears into the distance, apparently saying hello to everybody as he goes.
Yeah.
Did we just reference a Michael in a game with another Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed.
We are spreading.
For a start, if you guys would like to give yourselves the benefits of a long rest in the game, i.e. set your numbers back to the full numbers.
Yeah.
Full number.
That's a good thing to do at this point. And then
Got some key.
you leave the familiar sights and sounds of Tribor in search of the missing place on your map.
Searching for the missing place.
The missing place that Pyrolis has a map of from her patron.
Mm-hmm.
The location, although you don't actually know what that location is called, of the Pyre Mall.
Idaho, Idaho.
As you sort of get out from the town, sort of there's farmland, and then slowly that just descends into
Madness.
wild lands.
This is Sparta.
You're not traveling along one of the standard trade routes. It's sort of a less well-used road than that, one of the more local paths. But Pyrolis, you do know that this is a commonly used road to get from Tribor to another town that I can't be bothered to look up the name of at the moment.
Okay.
But other location.
But it sure as shit is that one. Oh boy.
After a little bit of travel, you note that there is a distinct lack of other traffic on the road.
Okay.
It's starting to become enough to worry about when you crest a small hill and you catch sight of a glistening pool of murky water off to the right. And as you draw closer, you notice a trail of blood leading from your left and ending in a fallen figure.
Oh no.
And also on a map that doesn't have any of you guys on it, because I was prepared. Could I get a marching order?
Pi would be first this bit because she knows the area.
How nearby, but not.
Might need you to try that one again.
How would be nearby? Okay.
But apparently not following
Yeah,
the road.
I'm just like having a one.
Off on a jolly.
Flowers.
Caldrax would be following Powerless like a good boy.
How's
Like a
Malthus doing
boy.
this morning, do we think?
What?
You think Mauser Ray's alright this morning?
Yes?
Okay.
A spray of blood has appeared.
Ew.
It said so in the description, so I figured I should add it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good trail of blood. First things first, I'm gonna have to do a perception because
That's the sort of thing you do.
Eh,
Uh,
I mean, I'd also try and perceive something if body was suddenly there.
what are we learning from this?
well, for a start, you both notice that the fallen figure is that of a drow.
A drow.
Okay.
Wearing heavy armor.
Okay.
You can't see from this distance what killed him, but you can tell that he is not moving anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Totally fucking dead.
One moment. Let me double check a thing really quickly. I just need to roll a number really fast.
A magical number.
It's a
What
number to
number is it?
find out if we're all dead. Number of death.
Kinda. What does that skill come off of? It's that. I don't know if
I'd
I
prefer
can.
not to be dead. If that's an option.
So Pyrolis, you're drawn into the dead body and you don't notice anything else.
Okay.
Calderax,
Hmm?
with your perception score, you also notice a head, sort of the top of a creature's head in the pool of water. And it's sort of sticking out like a hippo's head just above the surface.
Fucking Warrington!
It is not a hippo's head,
but
but sort of
as it bobbing along, as in someone's severed head is floating in the water.
No.
It's like someone is in the water.
there is something attached to said head that is below the surface that doesn't seem to have a problem with not having its mouth and nose above the water.
I immediately kind of just prod Pyrolis and kind of try to point it out to her. And I prod Malzere to also point it out to him. And try desperately to drag Hal, like, not drag him physically, but kind of like indicate that he should come over fucking here. Even though he's not here, so he can't actually use.
His internet died.
Yes, he did.
Yay.
Oh,
Tis the blue boy back.
I have returned.
Woo!
right.
There is a ominous head floating in the water that is attached to something and is quite happy being underwater. And Calderax is currently trying to get you to come over because he's spotted it and you haven't.
Oh, okay, I'm coming. Oh, there's a head. Oh no, there's a head in the water.
So yeah, I just kind of get him over to the rest of the group and point it out to all of them that there is something in the water, and it's not. I don't know what it is. It's a thingy.
Can I...
Hello.
Shut up.
Would there be anything I'd know in, like, I don't know, survival or nature that might help me know what it is?
Give me a nature check.
I mean, I can try. Or
You
I
can.
cannot.
No.
Try.
No, nothing springs to mind. It's from what you can see of it now that it's been pointed out to both yourself, Hal, and Maldore, it's a humanoid head. It's got two eyes that are just above the surface. It's not a human head, it's too large for that.
Oh.
But it does look like someone... It looks like a human's head if it was about twice the size of a human.
Oh, okay. That's not disturbing at all.
And also, it doesn't have any hair.
It's a hairless, big old human.
I wave at it.
The figure pulls itself out of the water.
Oh dear.
Um,
And charges, screaming at Hal.
just kind of slowly walks towards Hal and waves.
How are you?
Points at throat.
Oh, you have a sore throat? Honey and lemon. That helps.
Opens mouth. Closes
Now-
mouth.
Oh, I don't have any honey and lemon.
Now that it's out of the water, is there any way we could try to discern what it is, judging by just the sheer size of it and everything?
You, Malzere and Calderax have both seen something similar to this before.
Oh.
It looks like a golem.
Hmm.
But this one in particular is not made out of... You've seen them made out of clay before.
Yeah.
This looks to be the same sort of a size of vaguely humanoid figure. But instead of being made of clay, you can see that it's... the surface of it is made of leather.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't think he can talk.
Oh,
Looks at Calderax and nods.
Well,
is this what we're here for?
I don't believe. I'm assuming this isn't a pyre mall. Looks at Pyreless.
Shakes head.
Can you write?
Can you dance?
I think we go for the "Can you write?" Question.
I think they're
It
both important.
starts to move to dance, but it's very ungraceful.
That's fine.
um,
That's still dancing. I didn't ask if it was a good dancer, John.
Do you offer it pen and paper?
If it nods at me to say that it can, I will.
It will nod to us, suggest that it might be able to.
Yeah, she would like get out one of her books and it would be open double and give him a pencil just to see what happens.
It writes out very awkwardly with a large hand, too large for the holding the pencil. Do any of you speak or understand Draconic?
I
I can't see my languages, so I will assume no.
No, I don't.
I've got
So let's do
common,
Elvish.
common, infernal, undercommon, and celestial.
Then it writes out some words that you don't understand.
Do I have? I don't think I have the thingy, but I might have a scroll. Where the fuck are all the scrolls I've gotten? Is comprehend languages something that we read?
Yes.
Yes.
Then I do have a scroll of comprehend languages.
Woo!
I can't remember what level that spell is. Because I don't believe there's rules if I'm trying to cast it if I can't. God damn it. Comprehend language. It's a first level spell.
So you should be able to cast that.
So I can cast it with no issue.
Cool.
So, yes, I do comprehend the languages, which, for the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language you see.
Awesome.
So as you cast the spell, the writing on the page sort of takes on a liquid form and rearranges itself into words you understand.
Cool.
It has written in broken, badly handwritten Draconic.
Oh, great.
I was accident. Tried to escape library. That one tried to stop me. I will leave peacefully.
I relay that to everyone.
Library?
Do you have a name?
Shakes head.
I will call you Jerome.
Takes
What?
pencil and just tries to write a J on the front of itself.
We have a new best friend.
What library were you escaping from?
And yeah, in response to Pyrrhus and Calderax asking, he will point back at the pool of water.
Asking stupid questions.
And then he will write into the book, the Library of Bibulus.
The Library of Bibles.
Does that mean
Is it
anything
owned by
to any of
Pyrrhus?
us?
Malzere will, at that point,
Die.
it just keels over. It's just really strange. Malzere at that point knows some information. Bibulus is a long-lost library. The world's first library. Or so it is said. It took 10 years to build, and it was a sight to behold. It had gilded stone staircases that summited the 3-story height of the entrance and reminded people the power of magic. From dawn till dusk, the library was open and free to use, provided the books didn't leave when the patrons did leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He, Bibulus himself, started to fear for his people from what came from people coming to his library. And so created a great moat of magical water to surround the city.
Right.
The water always appeared murky and chilled anyone who tried to cross it, enough that it might freeze them solid if they failed. The mayor of the town was humbled by Bibulus's might and named him Scholar King of the town. That might have been a mistake, because the story says that he went mad with power. And
Yeah.
the town, the library, disappeared from the world, and nobody really knows what happened.
Cool.
I'm sure Jerome could tell you what happened.
Well, He claims it's over there. Like, looking over to where he pointed to earlier on.
Jerome, could you take us there?
Shakes head.
Why not?
He literally just said he's escaped from there.
But
I
I know,
am-
but then he...
I am leaving. He
Oh
writes.
no! But we just met.
He places a hand on your shoulder.
Breaks your neck. Snaps neck like a twig.
Before you go, who was it who tried to make you? What did you see while you were in there?
Lots of magic. Powerful artifacts. Many books.
Good magic? Bad magic?
Magic is power. People use it for good or bad. Magic
could you
isn't
tell?
good or bad.
Right little philosopher, isn't he?
But could you tell what was being done with it in your time there?
Stored. Wild?
Wild magic.
Flares.
70s fashion.
Hmm.
Like, magic
What-
is just flaring out of control?
What was the
Nods
name
head.
of the person of what we were looking for?
The Pyre
Should ask if that was a name that he recognised or anything that made sense.
He will write out large hammer. Make fire.
Does that mean anything to Pyrolus?
It sounds to match up with what you know the Pyre Mall from what you were told of it. It sounds
Okay.
like you've got a matching description.
I guess that's where we need to go.
He will point again to the body and just say, be careful, more.
And
And then points down into the pool.
in the water, we have to go in there to find it.
Writes out yes. Actually, no, he just nods his head because that's easier than just writing.
Like, under the water, or...?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to go under the water that's been enchanted to freeze people to death.
Nods yes.
Great!
We should wear a warm coat. How long can you guys hold your breath? Because I can hold mine for a real long time.
Not long beyond
Not long either.
what is normal.
Oh,
And unfortunately, I don't have the magic yet to extend that.
Do
I
you
can breathe
know-
for a long time. I can hold my breath for a long time.
I mean, if we wanted to walk over it, I could do something about that, but
Do you know how they didn't freeze? Did you see what they did to follow you? I assume they came out the same way you did.
He just writes, moved quickly.
so we just have to be quick.
I am still holding my breath.
He's not even paying attention.
So, just for anybody who's wondering the rules of this, a character can hold their breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier.
Oh, okay.
1 plus
Except for
one.
how, who can hold his breath indefinitely?
So yes, I can hold my breath for a grand total of 3 minutes.
That's more than I think I could hold my breath for.
At the end of that time, it can then survive for a number of rounds equal to its Constitution modifier, and then at the start of its next turn, it drops to 0 hit points and is dying.
Okay. Interesting.
So, grand total of 5 minutes. Of no, 3
3
minutes.
minutes, and
3
then
minutes.
The average
2 rounds, and then
dead.
the average person can hold their breath for about 30 seconds, but up to 2 minutes.
yes.
The
So-
record is someone that held his breath for 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
How long would it take you to get into this library? Like in minutes terms, Mr. Jerome.
Pool is 60 feet.
Yes.
Pool is 60 feet. Could we get 60 feet in 3 minutes?
You can swim 30 feet in an action.
So 33 in action. So
Actually, no, wait.
it's half speed, isn't it?
half speed,
So
unless
15,
otherwise. So you can do 15 feet an action. So you can do the 60 feet in four
4 actions.
turns.
which is only 4 turns, so it's turn-wise would be 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, we can get
So
there.
24 seconds.
So yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
I believe in us.
I mean, if it's our only way in, then
Just
Well,
gonna double
it's-
check on.
I do think we should check out the first.
Check out what first, the body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to be sure.
Let's go loot a corpse. Let's go loot a corpse. Let's go loot a corpse. Let's go loot a corpse.
Calarax dances down the road singing a song.
He does no such thing. In the cleric of Kalemvor, he would be reverential.
Be stern and serious.
No, not necessarily. Just he wouldn't mock.
You find a small scroll tube,
Mm-hmm.
sort
A
of
small scroll tube.
fastened around this drow. It's waterproof.
Convenient.
Do you open it?
I will first of all check and see if there's any magic on the scroll tube.
Okay.
Uh,
Nope.
then
Magic
I will
free.
Then I will open it, pointing away from me.
Okay.
A 40-foot jet of flame flies out.
Malzeray just
Past
gets
him.
toasted.
He's not 40 feet from me. He's all the way over there. Look at him. All the way over there.
As you attempt to read this letter, can you give me an intelligence check? Anybody?
Intelligence check.
Yes.
I mean, I can try.
Oh, isn't it? Intelligence. What the fuck's my intelligence? 5.
Calderax, there's nothing written on this piece of paper.
Nothing
It's-
here.
It's a blank, very white piece of paper.
Blank bit of paper.
Pyrolus.
Yeah?
You recognize this as shimmer paper.
Okay.
It luminesces in direct sunlight, obscuring writing from the prying eyes of those who walk in the sun.
Surface dwellers.
So, would she know to? Can she shade it therefore?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she would do that.
Actually, Caldrax will still have
He will still be
comprehend
comprehending,
language. But you had Undercommon already, didn't you?
I had Undercommon anyway, so.
Either way, you understand this note.
Woohoo! Go me! Shopping list.
My Lady of Shadow.
Eggs, milk.
My Lady of Shadow, that full dwarf Garth, has eluded me once again. I ask not for your forgiveness, I don't deserve it, but for your aid in a much grander endeavour. I have made a discovery in the tunnels that will make you the strongest power in Faerun. I have found the lost library of Bibulus. It is no longer a mere fairy tale, but a massive construction of stone and magic that lies beneath a small lake near Tribor. Somewhere inside this dark crypt lies a living history of the multiverse. I'm sure I don't need to tell you of the possibilities. Power, wealth, knowledge, all lies before your servant if she can open the doors. Garth may be many things, cowardly, deceitful, but he is also clever. He found a way to decipher a magical riddle that bars the doors and entered the library a day ago. Time is of the essence now. If we are to prove victorious, I believe I can force the doors, but I need more drow. Send me a troop of your strongest warriors, and I will crack these doors like a monstrous spider egg. I await your response, my lady. Your servant, Istralan.
Relays all this.
Jerome, how long has he been here?
5 years.
Not long. And you can tell, now that you're stood over him, Caldrax and Pyrolis, that he is still damp.
So
Not
he
long at all.
tried to go in the water and got.
As in, he has just escaped from the water.
Literally, like, minutes, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
Well then.
We
Yes.
should go find this dwarf, because we know about space and stuff.
Well,
We're gonna have to go in, aren't we?
we have to go in anyway. It's where your item is.
Let's do it! I hold my breath and dive in.
You think if we just leave him long enough, he'll eventually just drown? Or maybe he'll forget he can breathe indefinitely.
I don't know. Can Pi see that Hao is fine in the water? She would go over to the edge.
Hal looks very cold.
Come on! The water is great!
And how you take 8 points of damage.
Ah! How leaves the water? It was really cold.
Is there anything I can do to protect from any sort of shit like that? Probably not, but let's have a look. I'm assuming this would be cold damage?
You assume correctly.
It's not oh no, it is concentration. I can protect one person from cold.
Okay.
As I got protection from energy, but it's a concentration spell, so I can only do it to one person.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Bye,
what?
Jerome.
Jerome just kind of lumbers off up the road,
Oh, Jerome!
turns back,
Bye, I hope I see you again!
waves, leaves.
Be safe!
Jerome was found dead. 5.
This is his story. Dog, dog.
Is there anything else I can do to try and protect from any sort of coldiness? I don't think there is.
Would anyone in town have any, like, cold protecty stuff?
The only thing on a practical level I could think is get incredibly warm by a fire and jump in and just have to ride it out, but it doesn't sound like fun.
Malzere will
Oh.
point out that they can cast Dimension Door and take one of you down to the bottom. And that might
So
at the very
that's-
least speed things up a little bit.
Well, that's 2 people then, because that's 3 people. Then only one person has to do it. I'll do it.
But you'll die in 5 seconds.
Is
I'll be
there...
fine. I'm super tough.
if from looking into the water, can you see anything that says, right, this is where you're going?
Not from here, no.
So I can't misstep.
No.
Because I can't see where I'm going. I think 30 feet. Could get part way and
Sean turned into a kettle.
misstep the last bit.
I mean, you could Misty Step 30 feet down because it's a 60-foot pool of water.
Can I take multiple people?
No.
Misty Step.
Misty Step is you.
Me. Okay. I mean, that's an option, but it's...
But you can... Is Misty Step a bonus action?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in theory, you could Misty Step and then move and then dash to move 60 feet in one turn.
Yeah, it doesn't really help the other.
It doesn't help anybody else, but...
No, but 3 other people are fine, because if Malzere Dimension Doors and
And I protect
Cal-
one
and
person through.
yeah, that's all of us. And I move
Yeah.
faster than everyone else.
So Calderax and Malzere can go by a Dimension Door and protect Hal, who can move quicker.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you just go by magical means / swimming as fast as you fucking can.
And I'm there if she
Yeah.
starts to get hurt, I can help her out.
There is that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. And I've got lay on hands.
For
Should
healing
we
purposes.
be
And obviously, once
underwater?
we're out of the water, I can also do healings and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pyrolus.
Yeah.
You get to the edge of the pool. You
Mhm.
look down into it. There's
Look
just a
at you.
disappears in a cloud of smoke that just dissipates through the water, and then Pyrolus just sort of reappears 30 feet down and just swims as fast as she can
I do that. How? Because it lasts an hour. Like,
downwards. Sean, you take 4 points of damage from the cold.
chilly cold damage.
But you do make it to the bottom of the pool. You see a tunnel that curves down and then up into a cave, and you pull yourselves out of the water. Similarly, Malzere and Calderax just disappear through a large purple door and reappear at the bottom next to Pyrolus. And unfortunately, you both take 7 points of damage.
-7.
How?
Yeah.
You limber up, you dive in. What's your full movement speed?
I think I'm 45 feet at this point, but I can't check, John.
Because you can't get in your game.
Yeah.
It is 45 feet. So using double movement, because of halved speed, you go 45 feet down in the first turn. you take 2 more points of damage on the first turn.
What's the spell?
What's the what?
The spell, the protection spell.
Protection from
Protection
energy.
from energy. So you get resistance.
Ah,
So
sweet.
you would have taken 4 damage, but you only took 2.
That's definite improvement.
The second turn, you swim down, you make it to the bottom, you see the tunnel, you swim up into it. You take a further 2 points of damage, and you pull yourself out of the tunnel into a cave.
It's a dark, dark cave in the dark, dark town, and dark, dark.
And I need to get you guys on the map.
Well, fuck. Well, fuck.
Caldrax.
Fuck.
And you get out of the pool dripping wet.
So this wasn't this.
And there are 4 drow warriors. Actually, I'm just going to read you the box text, because there's box text.
Oh, I love box text.
You,
Fuck all y'all!
you crawl out of the frigid pool and onto the cool stone surface of the cave. It is dark, but there appears to be a dim light source up ahead, and to the left, the smell of smoke and roast meat reaches your nose moments later, and you hear your stomach grumble audibly. The
Mine does
cavern...
not. I care little for meat.
The cavern is filled with the sound of hammering and exasperated grunting coming from the same place as the dim light.
Oh, Caldrax and Mouser are down here.
Somewhere up ahead is definitely doing something, but you're not sure what just yet.
There are people here.
And you can see in the dim light, 4 drow warriors have set up
So
tents.
I just realised something. We have left, and I want to be 100% clear on this. Ember is at the tavern.
Yeah. Ember is at the top.
Ember is frozen solid at the bottom of the
No,
pool.
that's not what I said. I made it clear.
Ember is with you buddies.
foxy. And the little fox gone to meet the angel.
Nope. Hanging out with his foxy friends, having a foxy.
This tent is covered in spiders' webs.
Yep.
Lovely.
And
Man, that
solid.
tent sure does look like it's covered in spiders' webs. The
I can't help
tent,
notice
I
the
can
colour.
absolutely see.
That.
It's weird that. Could you guys roll me initiatives, except for Michael, who can't?
So I don't get to fight.
Lost.
Except for that guy.
Screw that guy.
Well, I can't knows a horrible spider lady. Just saying it's spider lady.
You don't know she's horrible. She could be really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet horrible.
How's
Well,
your
you
best
know,
friend? What are you on about?
This is why you don't have many friends.
Oh,
Caldrax has lots of friends.
Oh,
How
No,
many do you have?
lots of
And
lots
tell
of
me about
conquests.
and tell me about
Oh.
your family.
Oh, at least I was gonna say at least my family want me, but they don't because they
Yeah,
abandoned
at
me
least-
as a child.
At least my family exists.
Might probably exist somewhere.
how?
Yes.
It is your turn first. There are 4 angry drow warriors stood around you. 2 of them are fighting over a roast fish.
I would. Okay, I'm just gonna walk up to them and be like, "Hi."
Stab.
Okay. They turn, they look at you, they draw weaponry.
Oh, no, I'm not here to fight. I just came to say hello.
They seem uninterested in your hello.
I would like to spend a key point to do patient defense.
Okay.
Just, let's be... I'm not stupid. Stupid. I'm a little stupid, but I'm not stupid.
Well, the guy stood next to you rolled the next highest initiative.
So, as my action, I'd like to get like some bread or something, if I have any. Really damp now, but I just like hold it out like,
Friend?
like looking as sweet and innocent as I can.
He cares not for your frozen bread.
Can I speak like anything that would help me here?
He swings his sword at you twice and misses once.
Oh, okay, only once with advantage, with disadvantage even.
Yeah, he rolled a 17 and a 24 on the second attack.
He's a dick.
So you take 17 points of damage.
Ow!
How much?
Yeah, 8 points of piercing, 9 points of poison.
They're not here to be friends.
Nope, seems
I
like
told you that.
Smash,
The
smash,
sword. Ow.
smash. The next warrior runs up with his short sword,
How?
misses you twice.
It's alright then. This motherfucker.
5, 10.
Jesus.
Calderax.
Yes.
He fires a crossbow at you. That's 9.
No.
Pyrolus.
Still down 9.
Well, I'm just gonna step up to
The plate.
this one and smack it with a two-handed warhammer. Hope.
I mean, if you creep round to here, you'll be at advantage.
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah.
When I get to here, can I? Is there any sign of other beings in the tent?
You can't see any, no.
Okay, fine. So yeah, she would then move around, and yeah, advantage on that one.
Yes.
Funny that.
That will hit.
Are you sure? We want to check it again, just to make sure it's...
So that is 17 points of damage. Calderax.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, that was one way to start your turn.
Yeah. Sorry, something down. Well, there's a lot of drow here. I don't much care for these drow being here.
No?
No, I don't. And I don't much care for them seeing either.
Ah.
Or at least being able to see comfortably. I'd much prefer they weren't seeing comfortably.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna cast daylight.
Okay.
Yes.
Practically, basically, right in the middle. So that it's a 60-foot.
It's 60 foot out and then 60 foot of dim light beyond that.
Yeah. So like right here.
Okay.
Just like right here, just all the way out here.
They're very not happy with you right now.
They can continue being not happy with me right now. So I am also going to, while I am at it, I will not click on Steam. I will click on Roll20.
Okay.
I will go over here. Actually, no, I don't need to go over there because I can't do any sort of major healing on on the old How. I can only do a healing word. So
It's better than dying.
So I'll do a second level healing word. So that's 11. 11 heals. And then I shall move back a bit.
Sensible.
Sure.
This one is going to try and aim with his hand crossbow at Calderax, seeing that the sunlight is coming from him.
Disadvantage.
And rolls an 8.
Nope.
Screw you.
Malzere is going to do a thing, I'm sure.
He probably will.
That's the sort of thing he does.
Malzere will exist for this term. I'm gonna go get a drink. You guys are coming with me.
Yay!
I'm also gonna reset my internet.
Let's do a Dissonant Whispers at level 3. Boop. It would be helpful if it told me the things I need to roll. It is a wisdom saving throw. Seriously, is that his? Oh. Yes, it is. Is it?
What is what?
Is it, John? Is it really?
Is it though?
I don't know. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But is it?
Yes.
Are you inquiring whether something's his DC? I don't know.
Yeah, he beats the DC. So that's 13 divided by 2 is 6. And then he will also do a healing word on How at level 1.
That is good.
Stop dying, you son of a bitch!
I'm
Which is
trying!
Malzere's problem, but we seem to have passed that on.
That's 4 points more to How, who... Interesting.
Interesting.
There we go. How?
It is your turn.
He's possibly still getting a drink.
Possibly.
We were with him.
But he was taking us with him anyway, so...
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he was lying!
Or his internet died along the way.
Or internet died along the way.
He's
Both are
muted.
possibilities.
Present, if he might not know that he is muted. I don't know. Hard to tell.
I had to pee.
He had to pee.
He had to
Nice.
pee.
It's always awkward bringing it up.
It is your turn, How.
Okay, I'm gonna punch this dude.
You're going to punch the drow.
Yep. How punch? I want to punch the one that stabbed me specifically, because screw that guy.
One that
Okay.
actually did damage, that one.
You're at advantage to that guy. That will hit.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
I'll do it again for my second attack.
That will also hit.
Blam.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna I'm gonna spend a key point.
To punch him some more.
Do I want? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on the punch. I crits.
Well, that'll hit.
And then final punch. Blam. Kablam.
It is
And as I
then.
punch, he was like, "You should have just been nice."
the critical hit was you throwing your bread at him.
Just repeatedly punching him. Learn to be better.
He will then attempt to stab you twice.
You need to learn manners. I'm going to. My internet seems to be working, so I'm going to attempt to switch back to my computer. Un momento.
Okay.
He hits you once. And you take 15 points of damage, but you're not here, so I don't have to worry about that. You hear up ahead swearing in Undercommon.
How dare you! There are ladies present.
And just the sound of someone throwing stones at the door.
What happened? I'm back.
You got stabbed.
again.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, I really got stabbed. Jesus. Oh, no.
Pyrolus.
Yeah.
A 14 to hit.
No.
And then How. A 13 to hit.
No.
And then Malzere, a 11 to hit.
No.
Hopefully also no, otherwise, god damn.
Pyrolus.
Smells.
That is the character I'm playing at present, yes?
'Tis your turn.
Cool. My turn order's not shifted. Ah, it's because the connection to the server's gone. Now everyone's shuffled.
What do you
Shuffle
mean?
around.
Well, I'm gonna continue to smack this dude.
Okay.
Screw him in particular. It's thinking about it. I did click it.
It's thinking real hard.
Yeah.
Clicky, clicky.
Clicked it a second time. There we go. Look at that.
We rolled another natural 20.
We'll take the first one, shall we?
So
God damn.
that's
There you
21
go.
points of damage.
Clearly, screw
One of-
that guy in particular.
One of your dice rolls did the same as my entire crit.
Caldrax.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm just quickly making sure what I can do. So, so I'll be keeping up my daylight
Sensible plan.
to keep them all at disadvantage, which is fantastic. What do I want to do? So this one's taken a fair heft of damage.
That
The
one
rest-
is very much shaky on its feet.
but the rest of them haven't really taken anything much.
This one has also taken a very small amount of damage, but the other two have not been touched yet.
In which case, I'm going to move. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Hi!
Okay.
Reach out and touch Faye.
That just misses.
Damn it.
No.
What can I do as a bonus action then?
Go and boot him in the nut. That should
Hmm.
definitely be a bonus action for every option.
What can I do as a bonus action? What can I do as a bonus action? What can I do as a bonus action? I don't fucking know.
Quite the tune.
I can do Shield of Faith, but I don't know who I'd cast it on. I could just do Healing Word, because now 2 people have been damaged at least.
I am like really quite damaged. Like I am under half my hit point.
I'm going to have to do some healing to you, so 6 healing to the Howl.
I am now above half my hit points
Uh,
by 1 hit point.
I feel like if anyone needs shielding at the point, it's probably Hal.
Like,
I'm getting hit. All I did was offer them bread.
They don't want none of that.
If only
Surface
Pyrolus's
stinky bread.
brothers were here.
You
just
do
hear
not
a
see the small
splash
blue one.
behind us, and they've appeared.
We have been here several days.
Uh,
We punched our way through water.
Calderax,
Yes.
a 14 to hit,
No.
and then a 21.
21 does.
That is 10 points of damage total, 5 piercing, 5 poison. Also notice we don't have any music. Let's get some music.
Music.
So 10 points of death.
10 points of death.
Anti-healing.
Of the anti-healing. Malzare is going to start with the stabbing times. With advantage. Never mind.
Oh.
And that one will hit. Cool. Carry on. How?
I continue to punch this guy.
Cool. That'll hit.
5.
He is unconscious.
Wonderful. I'd like to move here so I can continue flanking this dude.
Okay.
And I will continue punching. I will now commence the punching on this guy.
Punch.
That'll hit.
And it's time to flurry of bros. Punch. Oh,
No.
That one does not hit.
Punch.
Yes.
That one does hit.
Blammo.
-7. You hear scraping noises as it tries, as this creature tries to scratch through the door.
As part of my action, can I be like, oh no, there's like a poem or a riddle or something to do that.
Pyrrhus,
Hands.
does a 21 hit you?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You
Jeez.
take, Jesus Christ, 19 points of damage.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's less than stellar.
5 piercing, 14 poison. Jesus, that was a good poison roll. And then How, 11.
Nope.
And then Calderax,
Yep.
9.
Nope.
And then Malzare, 13. Nope.
Nope.
Pi.
Well, I'm just gonna have to clobber this one, aren't I?
Yes.
Because, you know.
Sound
Sound
strategy.
logic.
Apparently 18.
That just hits.
Cool. I'm
now,
okay with just hitting.
I should have asked you on the previous 2 turns, but would you like to rub any funk on that? Or Divine Smite?
No, I think I'm gonna hang on to that for whatever big and shiny down here is doing.
Okay. Calderax.
Well, I would like to try and attempt an inflicting of wounds again, if I don't fail it catastrophically again. Apparently not.
You don't.
Well, let's really fuck with this guy's steez, shall we? Let's go for a 3rd level fuck up.
20 points of damage.
20 points of necrotic damage to his face, specifically. And then what can I do as a bonus action is again? I mean, I could do some more heals, but what's the fucking? What's the fucking?
I mean, you would be the expert.
I'm trying to remember I can never remember the flipping spell that I can do that would help out Malzare specifically. And I don't think it's a. I think that's the one. That's the one, but it's an action, so I can't do it anyway. Meh. So I'll just do. Who's got like the lowest AC here? Actually, no, correction. I can't do it anyway because it's concentration. Never mind. I shan't do any healings. I don't think anyone got hurt too badly. I mean, Pyrolis got hurt a bit, but I don't really want to keep blowing all my spell slots on Healing Word at the moment.
No,
Okay.
that's fair.
This guy is going to attempt to stab Calderax twice. A
Probably
7,
deserves it.
17 and an 11.
Nope and nope.
Damn it. Malzare is going to attempt to stab the Drow twice.
Nope. And
Nope,
yep.
and yes.
Can you stop fucking up on the first one?
I'm trying! How?
I'm
Might I
gonna.
suggest killing this guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something I've not done before.
What's that?
What a...
I'm using my quarterstaff.
That's
you have
a,
one of those.
that's a hit.
I just normally use it to walk about.
Just full on Rafiki's him, just like head over.
Well, because I don't want to spend some key points doing flurry of blows this turn, so this is technically the better damage output by using my quarterstaff two-handed. But with it, I can't do. If I'm using it two-handed, I can't do flurry of blows. Is my understanding anyway.
I believe that's the case, yes.
Because I don't have a free hand because I'm using it two-handed. So,
Huh.
wow.
Really?
And technically, you're supposed to do.
Aren't you supposed to have proficiency on that?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Because he's only done a 1d8.
Oh, it's a strength-based weapon.
Oh.
Is it a strength-based weapon?
Apparently.
I would have thought so, yeah.
It's dumb to give to a monk. Can I rescind this and punch instead?
Bear with me a moment.
I don't think it's versatile.
You mean finesse weapon?
Finesse, versatile, whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It does count as a monk weapon, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, it is.
You are proficient.
It is a dex weapon for you, so that is 4 points of damage.
Cool. It's really creepy because on my screen, all my character sheet was moving on its own as you were changing things.
Because it was haunted.
Cool. Then I will do it again. Blammo! Blammo!
So that's
That looks more
14
like it.
points of damage in total. You can then take a bonus action to make an unarmed strike.
Can I?
Well, that's martial arts, or you could do a flurry of blows. I don't see anything saying.
I thought you needed a free hand to do it. When you're unarmed or wielding any weapons you want, iron armor or wielding Oh, also for that, using martial arts, it means it makes it dex anyway.
Yeah.
If we turned into
But yeah.
Sims now.
I can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Awesome.
Or you can, you can use flurry of blows. It doesn't say that you need to have.
Yeah. Then I'm just
Because
gonna.
an unarmed attack isn't necessarily with a fist.
Could be kicking.
Could be kicking, could be
That is very
headbutting.
true.
You
Um,
could be like booty bumping him.
Then this is gonna change how I play very rapidly. I'm gonna be using my staff more. I have learned something new today. Can I use my air burst still?
I think for you that does count as an unarmed attack.
Bam! Well,
No.
Well,
less bad.
After all this discussion, no, you can't.
I mean, if you add those together, yes.
Okay, John said I can add them together, so
No.
that's what he said.
He said that. I heard it and everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
I clip it on stream.
Pyrolus,
We have evidence.
9.
Anyone in the audience, if you want to just,
How, 11.
No.
Malzere, also 11. No.
I apologize. I have been burping a lot today.
Caldorax, 13. No. Pyrolus,
How damaged is the guy in front of me looking?
quite damaged. He is under half. He is bloodied.
Screw it, let's try and hit him.
rip and skip.
That'll hit. That's a
Ka-thunk.
lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Calzare,
Calzare.
Malzadap.
Now's yeah.
Calzone,
Calzy poop.
Calzibubby.
Bobby.
I just opened Photoshop and Agent 47 John is staring at me.
Did you not save it, Michael?
I did save it. That's why it's staring at me. It's staring at me in my recently used
Oh.
section.
I was going to say, is it like, we recovered this file, do you want it still?
No. I barely wanted it to begin with.
Caldorax.
Hold on.
That one.
Citizens, did it up to you too, sir.
I am going to. What should I get? I'm going to attempt a. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I don't think I do.
No.
No.
Right, alright. Have you thought about maybe you could also, but if you wanted to.
I think I'm just going to do another attempted inflicting of wounds
I'll get out.
because
Oh,
they work so well. 19.
That'll hit.
I should do it at second level because fuck this guy and all he stands for. Blah.
21 points of damage.
21 points of damage, and he's still not dead because fuck him. Stands for. Oh.
Caldorax, 16.
No.
Cool. Moving on. Malzare. Malzare.
This time hit with your first hit, you. But I'm slowly descending into Gilbert Gottfried in that.
You need to be careful.
For God's sake!
Hang on a minute. I'm just
hit him.
I'm just seeing so many places that things are set up wrong. Because, granted, when Malzare started, these finesse weapons should have all been using his dex, but now they can use his strength. Because he's got the giant strength things.
He does.
Didn't help.
Damn it! For fuck's sake!
You need to try harder.
How
Do you want to do this?
about now, Funk Show brother?
I'm gonna start using my newly thought of abilities.
That'll hit.
Splam. Second splam.
That'll
No.
miss. Just manages to pull its sword and
Damn it! I hit the button.
knock it aside.
Then I'm going to punch it
That'll just hit.
as it's distracted, knocking my thing aside. I just punch it in the face.
Ow!
That is my turn.
Okay. on its turn, it's going to attempt to stab you.
Oh no, but I was so nice.
It rolled a 19.
Oh, that's misses.
Wrong.
Oh,
That's
I forgot he could read.
that's 16 points of damage.
Yeah, of course that's gonna hit, John.
No,
It's
no,
like-
16 points of damage.
I know.
16 is the damage.
Cool. I'm back to nearly dying, like super nearly dying.
And also Pyrolus. Never
Yep.
mind.
Yep. Nope.
Calderax.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Malzere. Definitely not.
Nope.
Pyrolus.
What? Lay on hands. Is that
That is an action.
in action? Probably better to batter this guy and get him out of the way.
At least it would get him out of your face. That's the main thing.
But equally, I could get around him without triggering an attack, and he'll help.
Yes.
You could do that thing.
What could I do on a bonus? Might be useful.
What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys?
Bad,
Bad
bad,
boys.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hey, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad boys, bad boys.
Whatever will you do?
Whatever will you do when they come for you? These bad boys.
Bad boys.
The baddest boys.
You don't have any healing that
No.
is unfortunately a bonus action.
You
Yeah,
have
I'm
no
going to attempt.
bonus action healies. You have no hope.
Yeah, no hope. All
The
terrible.
bad boys.
Either you batter or you heal.
Yeah, I'm going to batter this dude and try and get him out of the way.
Because
The bad
then there won't be anyone attacking How anyway.
That'll hit. That'll
after
splatter.
after all the ones I've been doing. There you go.
See? Now no
And
attacking.
to which she will step to here.
Goes to reach out.
Goes to reach out to touch face.
Reach
Depends
out and
whether
touch
Calderax
face.
does anything or not, but if she's here, she can potentially hit anything that comes close.
Cal.
See a doctor.
Like attempt vampiric touch. Could attempt that. That seems like a silly thing to do. That's a silly thing to do. It's so silly.
Are you okay?
It's a silly thing to do apparently.
I just want this guy dead. I just want this guy dead. I just want him dead. So badly. I just want him dead.
Then
That's it.
try and kill him.
I've been trying.
Clearly
Try
not hard
harder.
enough.
I would have thought 2 inflict wounds would have killed him by now.
These guys are really hardy.
I can't do anything that's concentration because I've still got sunlight up, or daylight up even. So, which is assisting in disadvantage giving.
Yep.
I can't do that because it's not going to. It would give him. It would give How a lot of health, but it might kill me.
I mean
That's
that sounds like
that's
overkill.
Stella.
I mean, that's the most powerful healing spell I have is life transference, where I hurt myself to heal.
You don't do that. How does not want that?
I think I could drop it to give spirit. I think we just got. If I do guiding bolt point blank, is it a disadvantage? I don't think magic.
I don't
is.
think magic is, no.
So, but it's not at advantage because technically it's a ranged attack.
Yeah.
So it'll be a
It's
normal.
just at normal.
But then at the same time, if I'm going to do guiding bolt, I might as well just do inflict wounds because then I get advantage with it.
Yeah,
So fuck it, inflict wounds. 25.
that'll hit.
I'm just going to do it at first level. Just die, please.
That's exactly how many hit points he had left.
Thank fuck for that. Right. So yeah, bonus action. I won't do anything because I'm getting dicey with the fucking spell slots.
This guy is going to make 2 attacks against Calderax. 22.
22. Yes.
That is 16 points of damage, 5 piercing, 11 poison.
16. I'm on 23 hit points.
Malzare will run up to here.
And actually hit with the rapier!
Yes.
Yes!
Woo!
But actually, no.
And then, actually, rather than trying to hit with the dagger, will spend a bonus action saying,
Fuck you.
Calderax, have 5 points of healing.
Oh boy. Thank you.
Just what you've always wanted.
Well, it's better than being on 23.
How?
Oh, that's me. I'm Hal.
You are Hal.
Since when?
Now.
God, that was loud. What the hell was that? Jesus. Sorry,
It wasn't
something
Jesus.
pringed on my computer. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna hit this guy. In theory.
That will
Yeah.
hit.
I'm gonna try and hit him again
You definitely do.
Yep.
for the same damage.
But the second
hate-
one felt special.
I hate crits in Raw because of that. They don't feel
Yeah.
good.
I'm very tempted by the rule set that I saw that is you do the maximum damage plus a dice roll.
That's what I do at my table.
I'm very tempted to just implement that so that crits.
I would. It makes it feel
would
they
make crits
so
very-
more powerful.
It would make
Yeah.
them very special because then it's like, yes, I have actually done something.
Yeah. The fact that I can crit and do the same damage as a regular hit, that's the bullshit.
That is the bullshit.
Anyway,
And then I punch him.
that will hit.
Skadoosh!
Then the pounding on the door continues. Pyrolus.
How do you want to give How a wedgie of healing?
Well, now you've
Now that you put it that way.
You put it in that way. I have no choice in the matter.
would Hal use the full 20 of lay on hands?
What?
How is in single digits at the moment?
How is
Yeah.
how is
How
in
could How could most certainly do with the full lay on?
how
Yeah,
could
Hal's got 20 from that.
Thank you. Much needed. Lots of
Right.
wow.
Such wow. Very heals.
So that's an action, so I need a bonus.
You could set up a smite for the next turn. You could hex
Yeah.
or hunter's mark.
What was the heck? Hex.
Yeah, you could Hexblade's
first-
Curse, or you could Wrathful
Hexblade's on the
Smite.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's Hexblade Curse.
So the shadows around its feet just kind of swirl up around him, and Pyrolus just narrows her eyes at him.
Yeah.
Things are not looking good for this guy.
and she will step forward.
Kalzarax.
Kalzarax.
Yes.
It's spreading.
I'll remember this, John.
Or should I say, Jean?
I think I'm going to start going for weaponry because I don't want to keep wasting spells if we're going to have to attack this motherfucker. So
Okay.
So I think I'm going to have to try to do my Lightbringer mace. With the Lightbringer, it's a bonus action to activate it, isn't it?
I believe it is, yes.
So I activate it.
Boom.
Which I don't think really does much for, because I think it does extra damage if they're infernal or something. I can't remember the stats for this fucking thing. So,
Been that long.
but either way, I'm going to attempt to smack it in the face with it. So, wah.
That will hit.
Wah.
When glowing and if undead.
So they're not undead, so it's just the 7, I believe.
Yeah. But I mean, that's still 7.
It is still 7. It is 7 less health than it has before.
I think we're going to go with a Kalderax. 11.
Nope.
And Pyrolis, and never mind.
No.
What was it, John?
Natural 1.
Never mind.
Yay!
Roll an 8.
Never mind.
I wouldn't have done that. I'd have rolled higher.
It tried to, but there was this annoying pesky sunlight.
Pesky bee!
That'll hit. That is 6.
It's 6 damage.
And then we're gonna dagger. That won't hit.
That won't hit. An
How?
opposite star. No.
That's me!
It is,
Have a bit of this.
Would you like to move to here to give yourself advantage?
I'd already have advantage. Because is he still alive?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
so as long as 2 people are flanking it, you still get the advantage.
Oh, nice.
Fun fact.
That's numbers.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Would you like to try to smack it again?
Yes!
That'll also hit.
Blam.
That is significantly less numbers.
He smacked me
Yes.
around the face with his staff.
And then I will hit him with some air, but I won't
Oh,
hit
you
him with some air.
No.
But I tried, and that's what matters.
Pyrolis.
Yeah, I'm gonna also try and hit this one just to get him gone, so we can focus on whoever's
That's what
banging at the door.
That's what
Tall,
I was
dark, and
thinking.
spidery over there.
Yeah.
Spider
Um,
McSpiderson.
Okay. What do I get? Was Hexblade cursed?
Yeah, you should have a hex entry for your weapon.
Yeah, no, but it's not against the Hexblade. Is against the one at the bottom. It's just checking that I'm not disadvantaged if I don't hit that one. Isn't it for Hexblade? You choose
no,
one
it's...
creature you can see within 30 feet to curse it for 1 minute.
Yeah.
So there isn't a disadvantage in there for hitting someone else. Which is fine.
No.
So yeah, we'll hit the other. Well, or not.
Not quite, no. Kalderax. Or Calder Mace.
Shut your face.
With a mace.
So yeah, mace.
To
Nope.
the face.
That's me done.
To near the face.
It's gonna swing this turn at Malzare. Yes. Ouch. That is 21 points of damage. And then at How,
No.
9.
I did say no.
Malzare will swing and hit and kill.
Yeah, wait, no. No killing. Boo.
And with that, the Dryder will just swing round, rear up on its hind
And
legs,
resurrect all his friends.
resurrect all of his friends, and just say, fuck you all. Spin round, screech at you, draw its sword, and we'll finish the session here and pick it up again in 2 weeks' time.
As it spins round, Hal's like, I tried to be nice.
We will be picking up here in a fortnight's time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow button. It will let you guys know when we go live with more great adventures like this one. On Friday night, myself and Tanny, at the very least, will be attempting to not starve simultaneously.
Have you tried not starving?
Try food. I hear food helps.
We're working on that.
Ah, smart.
On Sunday, the adventures of the Storm King's Thunder crew continue as they head back to Maelstrom and return the Storm Giant King Hecaton to his throne, hopefully.
It's only taken us 3 years!
My guys have been doing that for like 6 months and they've already done it.
There's been some side questing going on.
I can see.
And then on Monday next week, hopefully Sean and I will be back on the Minecraft server.
If
With
not, it might be a Mystery Monday again.
with a new mod pack. Otherwise, it might just be a Mystery Monday and
Wait,
we'll play
what new
something
mod
else.
pack? Ooh, sexy time.
We're doing an official final boss fight mod pack. So it's kind of a mix of the magic and tech mods that we actually want to play.
And some other story bits, I think, was a plan.
And some other adventure type bits and pieces we can do. And building type mods and stuff.
Did any of the mods that I requested make it in?
Probably. Wednesday next week will be a thing. Tuesday next week is going to be a game of The Expanse with Jeff being the GM.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
And then I think Friday next week is going to be a game of Space Odysseus the A-Team as we work out what it means to have been knighted. Because that's a thing that some of us have just done.
And
Nice.
Gunter's have to continuously say his entire name.
Yes. And then obviously the Sunday after that we'll be diving back into the Tomb of Annihilation as the group do several things, one of which at least will be coping with the fact that Romad has a new voice in his head.
Yep.
Oh.
So stay tuned for that. For now, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you guys real soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye!